So what other autoimmune diseases do you think could be assisted by this?
Well, we do a lot of MS. That's probably our number one indication. We just finished a clinical trial, prospective clinical trial. We submitted for publication. It should be coming out in the next month or so, and statistically significantly, these patients improved dramatically. And as far as side effect profile, it was highly minimal. I mean, you feel headaches and few flu-like symptoms, things like that.
And how many people?
This was with 20 people, and one of the individuals actually is clinically perfect, and all of his lesions went away. And we only did one treatment with these. Typically with MS, it's more refractory than rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis, usually after one treatment, people get a ton of benefit. With MS, they usually see after 2 or 3 treatments that they see the most benefit. And we only did one treatment in this trial. But one gentleman had 3 lesions in his brain. All 3 lesions completely disappeared. So MS is a big thing. Rheumatoid arthritis is a big thing, and I can tell you, there's stories not stories, but people talking about their responses, and it's pretty incredible. There's one lady that her husband was a PhD physicist. He carried on working just so she could have insurance to afford the medications, which were around $100,000 a year for her to get treated for rheumatoid arthritis, and she came down it's a little over 3 years ago, November, and she hasn't been on any medication since. She actually started walking around the mall when she was in Panama, and then when she got home, she's completely, pain-free, and she's been pain-free for 3 years. And her husband finally retired because he didn't care about, having the insurance to pay for these very expensive drugs that she was taking. So MS, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus. We don't have a lupus protocol. There's a group in China that's published 6 really good papers on lupus. It's very, very effective in their trials. We haven't done it yet. And then autism, it's not considered an autoimmune disease, but we have a trial. We just completed our autism trial with 33 enrollees. With very good results. Many of those kids became non-autistic after treatment.
So that's confusing to me because you're talking about people that are young,
right? So
why would it have such a benefit for them?
Well, I wrote an article in 2007 about why these cells should be good for autism, and basically, it's the most downloaded article this journal's ever had. I mean, something like 75,000 people have downloaded a scientific journal article, which really doesn't happen very often. But people with autism have inflammatory things going on in their body. A lot of times in the gut, there are at the end of the small intestine, there are these inflammatory nodules that look a lot like Crohn's disease, and they secrete this inflammation that then goes to the brain, inflames the white matter of the brain. The white matter of the brain swells, decreases the blood flow to the brain. All that's intertwined. And then just a few years ago, there was a study that came out, and this is what allowed us to go forward with our clinical trial. They found that there are these 2 inflammatory molecules that are MDC and TARC, and they perfectly correlate with the severity of symptoms of autism. And so we measured not only those 2, but another 30-some biomarkers. We did quantitative EEGs. We did a lot of standardized scoring with a neurologist that read them, before treatment, during treatment, after treatment. So I believe a lot of the problems with autism stem from the inflammatory status, and these cells are definitely anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, they've had some benefit with changing the diet and changing the gut biome of kids with autism. And they've made some benefits for that, and which they believe is also connected to inflammation. Yeah,
absolutely. If your immune system's freaking out every time you eat a piece of bread, and that immune system's throwing out molecules that are swelling your brain and inflaming your brain, then it makes complete sense. And I think in general the people with autism that do the best are the ones that get that addressed before they come down. There's some other doctors that do functional medicine. They look at their diet. They see if they have any heavy metals and that sort of thing. And the ones that just are slam dunk, do the best, have been cleaned up before they come down.